You've been connecting to your spirit guides for a while. You know the difference between your imagination and your intuition. But at a certain point, every advanced intuitive hits a certain moment. I know I'm capable of more. This video is your next level, a deeper dive into getting information from your spirit guides. I'm going to show you why your connection evolves as you evolve, how to recognize new ways your guides are communicating with you. If you're ready to move beyond beginner level signs and onto a deeper relationship with your guides, you're in the right place. I'm Emily Snyder, a psychic medium for pets and people who loves to teach people all about their intuition in a human, grounded, and accessible way. Most people think their advanced intuition means louder messages, but in reality, it just means a refined form of communication. It also means recognizing that your guides evolve as you evolve. Some stay with you for life, and others arrive just in the moment that you need them. If you're advanced, but feel like you've hit a ceiling, let me myth bust that for you. You can always go deeper with spirit. A deeper connection supports life purpose clarity, psychic and mediumship accuracy, emotional regulation and healing, creativity, lineage and generational healing, navigating relationships and trusting your own inner knowing, understanding long range plans and next steps. Why take a deeper dive even if you've connected before? Your vibration changes over time. You are not the same person you were 5 years ago or even last year. Your energy shifts with experience, wisdom, and growth. Your guides flex with you, so take a moment to feel where you are energetically in this moment, right now, in your body. My suggestion would be to go internal versus external. I've published a few calibration exercises where you can ask your body to show you yes and show you no, and I would recommend doing one version of that. But in addition, you can also spend some time sitting in the power and meditating, or sound baths, breath work, any kind of energy work that brings you from an external source to an internal source of energy will help turn that conversation back on with your spirit guides. Your dominant Clair may have changed. For years, you may have been a clairvoyant, always seeing the best images, but all of the sudden, Spirit is actually asking you to use your clairsentience and feel into the information. I started out as a very strong clairaudient medium. I continue to be a clairaudient medium, but when I would go sit with my spirit guide, my main guide, he would just sit next to me and not talk for 2 years. It was a frustrating experience because all of these other people were having these great downloads of messages from their guides, understanding the universe and life in their future path. And all my guide did was sit next to me for 2 years. As soon as I felt into his energy and I felt that the time was right, he spoke. And since then, that conversation has not stopped. If your clairs change, don't freak out. Just train the new one. If you start to feel more, lean into that and practice clairsentient exercises. Do things that help you feel emotions and sensations within your entire body. If you're not getting a clear message, just start training one clair a week until things start to solidify around how the messages are now going to come to you. Recently, I'm really trying to get my clairgustians up because I'm not really a foodie, so the food stuff doesn't really register. So I've been doing a lot more cooking and tasting and experimenting in recipes so that I have a bigger taste palette that spirit can pull from. You may have been somebody who got the first sign from your spirit guides, like a 4th of July firework going off, or you had a near-death experience that completely changed your relationship with the spiritual world. Those messages were big, bold, and really willing to get your attention in any way possible. But now you're noticing that those messages aren't coming through so loudly. The fireworks have stopped. We always want it to feel so big and so bold, but spirit is subtle. Spirit often gets loud to get your attention and then softens into the relationship. Your job now is to tune into that subtlety. You're expecting beginner level signs with an advanced level relationship. Spirit gives us guidance, but it also teaches us. You've been doing this a while, and let's say you've been seeing butterflies in your path pointing you in the right direction. That has been a consistent sign for you for years. You see the butterfly, you know you're on the right path. But now you've worked on your energetic connection, You understand that connection to the spiritual world. You've talked to your guides, and suddenly those signs go quiet. You no longer see butterflies and you no longer feel that you're on the right path. You are being asked to go deeper. Your skills have grown, and so your tools need to grow with you. How do you deepen that relationship with your spirit guides? The first thing is consistency. Consistently practice, consistently talk to them, acknowledge them, and feel, see, and hear everything that they're giving you on a regular basis. The moment you stop doing that, the harder it is to notice all that subtlety. Number 2 is specificity. When you're asking questions of spirit, be specific in what you're asking for or about. Instead of asking these really long range questions about, am I on the right path? Narrow it down a bit. Am I doing everything I can in this moment to put me on the right path? Now, the third thing might seem a little obvious, but it's reciprocity. Telling spirit guides what works for you and what doesn't. So when you do get information from them, verify with them. Tell them, this is working for me, so that they can give you more and more information like that. And the last thing I will just say is always say thank you. Spirit guides are here to help us, yes. But how do you feel when you do something and no one thanks you for it? I just think it's great practice. I don't know what it's like up there in the spirit world, but a thank you goes so far. For some of you out there, your guides may show up as one collective, much like the leaves on this tree. One collective of many voices. Let's use a tech reference here for a second. So all of that knowledge is like the cloud. Anything that you use, you are uploading to the cloud. The memories are stored there, as well as everybody else's memories and archives. You yourself in this world are more like the computer. You're able to download what you need when you need it. Your spiritual connection is the Wi-Fi signal. When you sit in the power, you are strengthening that connection. I talked about this in my class the other day, and one of my students commented, so the tech industry got this right? I don't know if it's 100% accurate, but the metaphor does help. Some of you may have this collective voice. In this case, it may be difficult or confusing to actually suss out individual voices or personalities, but you get amazing information this way. It's a streamlined, clear source of information. For other people, myself included, we feel like we have distinctive guides who step forward. Individual souls that we can talk to. Let's use mine, for example. I have asked them about their physical appearance, asked them to give me a name, asked them what they're here to help me with, and how long they've been around me. One of my guides, Sarah, shows up in Victorian clothing, not the kind that comes in from a romance novel, but more of a working girl or shop girl kind of outfit. Her hair is always coming out of her ponytail, and she seems always a little rushed and hurried with her personality. I've asked her what she helps me with, and she says organizing my day. She's also been with me forever, and she loves her job. For me, she's like a digital assistant. Her appearance, her name, and even her voice help me process the information that she's giving me. Does that information come from that same collective consciousness? Probably. But does that avatar, that skin, that glamour, does that help me process the information? Yes. This might help you too. Something as simple as the yellow guide or the green guide may help you distinguish the voices that you're hearing. You may have one of these types or both. What's most important is the message, but it is helpful to understand who is sending that message to you so you don't get confused. If you have a collective of guides, you should be getting guidance from one voice or one feeling. It should feel unified. If you have a group of individual guides, you can ask for a spokesperson, one person to come to you to talk to you today. Many people feel like they have one main guide, as I do, who has been with me the longest and tends to be around me the most and does act kind of as that spokesperson. Over time, you can actually do the spirit guide interview we're about to do with each individual spirit guide and understand their purpose, how long they've been with you, how best to communicate with them, so that you understand kind of the organization of them and they understand how to communicate with you. We're going to do a very fun exercise called a spirit guide interview. But before we do that, I want you to think of a few things to set ourselves up for success. First, think about a moment when you've deeply connected with your guides or seen a sign that has changed the direction of your life. Something that came to you through multiple clairs or lingered, lasted in your memory for a long time. Hold on to that memory. At a certain point, we're also going to ask your guides to help us in a light-hearted game. Here's a few examples. You might want to think through this ahead of time and pick one that feels right to you, or allow your spirit guides to pick out of this list. The first one is daily check-ins for a month. Asking your spirit guides, what do I need to know today? And then taking notes and validating the information that comes through. Next is micro decisions. Left or right in the park? Blue shoes or red shoes? Strawberry or grape jelly? Tell your guides you're going to follow their guidance on these micro decisions and see where this leads you. Next is help with a Clair. If there's a Clair that you really want to explore, tell your spirit guides to drop that information to you randomly throughout the day. For example, if you'd like to work on clairgustians, have them drop tastes into your mouth throughout the day. Record what you get back from them. And the last one really has some childlike wonder. Spiritual Marco Polo. Anytime you think of your guides throughout the day, just yell Marco in your mind. When you notice a polo coming back, take note. You can choose one of these or create one on your own. As we move into the spirit guide interview, I'm going to lead you through a series of questions that you're going to interview your spirit guide with. It's not important for you to get answers to every single question. The point is building that relationship. If you have a collective, like I've talked before, you should already be hearing one singular voice or feel it with one singular energy. If you have multiple guides, you may want to ask for a spokesperson for this exercise. You can always come back later and revisit this with other guides to get additional information. I also highly suggest having a pen and paper nearby. If you're able to open your eyes and jot things down as we do this exercise, that might be helpful. If not, I would just keep it near you so you can do it at the end. I'm going to get you to the energetic space to talk to your spirit guides. It is a simple step down and asking them to come closer to you. If you have a different method that you prefer to use, that's totally fine. Just ignore my voice until I say, spirit guide, please take one step forward. All right, let's get started. Find a comfortable space and breathe slowly but naturally. Allow your body to empty of anything but its spiritual presence. Reach down into the earth, grounding yourself to that beautiful energy of nature, giving you their stabilizing presence throughout this exercise. Then reach upwards towards the spirit world and your spirit guides, connecting with them in the best possible way. Envision your light and their light merging and blending and growing, forming that deep, rich connection. Invite your guides or guide to come close to you. Feel their presence. Notice how it feels in your body. Notice any visual signs, colors. Notice any tingling or pressure. Now ask your guides to take one step forward. Notice the shift when they connect closely to you. Once you have that connection, tell your spirit guides that you're here for the spirit guide interview. Tell them you wish to deepen your connection and no one's getting fired. Feel their presence once again. Ask for a singular voice, either from the collective or from a spokesperson. Now, the first question. How long have you been with me? Have I felt, seen, or heard something from you in the past? Show them an example of a time where you feel like you have gotten information from them before. Tell them what has worked best in communication with you. Ask them, what is their purpose in your life? Ask your guide, what are they here to teach you? Ask your guide, what can I do to connect faster to you? Express your desire for a deeper sense of accuracy and a multi-layered approach to a message. Show them with your clairs how you would like this to arrive in your body. If this isn't resonating, you can also ask them to show you how they would like to communicate with you through feeling, sensations, images, sounds, music, color. And finally, ask your guide, would you like to play a game with me? Either tell them the one that you've selected or ask them which they'd prefer. Daily check-ins, micro decisions, help with a Clair, or spiritual Marco Polo. Sit with them for just one more moment, feeling their love, their hug, their energy presence. Thank them for being with you. Ask them if they have any message for you today. And then slowly come back into your physical body and open your eyes. Over the next 48 hours, I would highly suggest trying to connect with your spirit guides a couple more times. You can either do this through sitting in the power and really concentrating on that connection, or just calling on your guides and putting your focus up to the spirit world and seeing what you get back. What you're trying to do is build that relationship and build that consistency. Track what you get over time and see how that information has changed after the spirit guide interview. Unexpected message from my spirit guide. Stop talking with your hands. 48 hours. As your spiritual vibration increases, your guides shift right alongside you. And your guides begin communicating with you in a vibration that matches your new level of consciousness. When you open the door to this subtlety, this nuance of this new relationship, your information will come through clearer and faster and much, much more accurate. This is the moment your intuition stops feeling like messages and starts feeling like co-creation, like a conversation that can happen all day long. If you want to understand your guides a bit more clearly, what they're trying to teach you, who they possibly could be, come and sit with me for a private reading and we'll dive into it together. It is one of my favorite things to explore with advanced intuitives. I'm Emily Snyder of Connected Intuition. As always, stay open, stay curious, stay connected with Connected Intuition. See you next time.